So what we want to do now is to show you an example with Telegram bot to manage contacts in a spreadsheet. So we have a contact spreadsheet here, and the goal is that the user can add a contact, update information, delete a contact, search contacts, and ask follow-up questions. So we built this example in two ways. We used a classic scenario that parses the input of the user from Telegram and acts upon the request of the user. Then we used different version with the AI agent to show you the difference between the two. So the first thing I want to mention is that to make this happen, we use what we call sub-scenario. Sub-scenarios are scenarios that can be called from other scenarios, or they can be called as tools by AI agents. So the goal of the tools is to provide different services that we can use and reuse in different topics, in different use cases. So for this demonstration, what we built four different sub-scenarios, one to create a new contact, one to delete, one to search, and one to update. So how does it work? In fact, we implemented the mechanisms of scenario inputs and scenario outputs. So it allows you to define different type of objects. So you can define them, describe them. You can put a different type of fields, etc. So in this case, it's an example of an input parameter for an update where the user or the coding application has to provide an email and to provide some data like the first name, last name, the city to change on the contact. And you can define scenario outputs. This is very useful if you need to get information back from the sub-scenario. And this will be super useful when we use the sub-scenarios as tools with the AI agent so that it knows what it did or so that it gets some data. So now let me show you what it looks without the agent. So what I've done here in this example is a scenario that accepts some inputs from users directly in Telegram, and it will make a few processes with the data that was typed by the user. So without going too much in details, I will show you how it works. So it still uses AI, but in that case, you can see with the different branches, different routes that are built, that it's deterministic. So we use AI to process this unstructured data. So we need to know if the user wants to create a contact, update, delete, etc. And based on the outcome of this AI call, we'll go to different routes. So if I go here, for example, say, okay, if the action requested by the user is search, then I want to go to this route. And we did the same for update, create, etc. So the other step was to use AI again to extract any relevant data and to figure out if we need to ask follow-up questions. So for example, if I say I want to create a new contact, I want my scenario to return to the user follow-up questions like, what contact do you want to provide? Can you please provide me the first name, last name, etc. And in the same scenario, what I do here is that I call the sub-scenarios. So one sub-scenario to search, one to create, etc. So this one, for example, will search contacts. So it will search just one single contact if we provided an email, or it will search for all contacts and get the results back. We'll aggregate them and return the results to the user. So we do exactly the same for all the different steps. So you can see already that the scenario is quite complex, and you will see how it's used now. So let's go to Telegram. Okay, so now let's ask a question. For example, say list contacts. So what's happening now in the scenario is that it interprets using AI my command, list contacts. It knows I'm searching for contacts. So it will go to the route where we list all the contacts, and it will return me the results aggregated. So you can see here the list of contacts that are in my database. So we could do something like create a new contact with email. So I can make a misspells because it will interpret it correctly, right? So let's say John at acme.com. Okay, so you see now I'm just providing an email. I'm asking the question. So now the deterministic process that we created knows that it requires a follow-up question. So it comes back. So for the moment, we are fine in the way it behaves. It behaves the way we want it. So I will provide, I will say it's John Doe, city equals to Paris. So I type this. So it will do the follow-up question. It will interpret everything and it will create for me the relevant data. Okay, see contact created successfully. So now if I do list contacts, so you see now that we have new contact that was created. So it works fine. We called the sub-scenarios, we got the results. But what if I do something that is not foreseen in the scenario? So imagine I want to say is contacts living in China and provide CSV. Okay, so now I'm giving extra instructions. So I want to filter by city, by country, and I want to provide a CSV. In that case, in the scenario, because it's deterministic, we should have foreseen this type of request, right? We should have possibly made a further filtering on the data. And we have the cities only, so we have to figure out what city is in which country. But also, we have to change the formatting. But because it was not foreseen, you see that it returns again all the data with all the relevant information, but not in CSV and not only for contacts living in China. So you see that there are limits. What we should do in that case is to enhance the scenario to make it more powerful and foresee different other type of questions. So now let's see what happens with an agent. I will first show you how we configure an agent. So this agent has been specialized in marketing. He handles contacts, he handles leads, and his role is to make sure that contact information is always up to date. And what we did here is that we added system tools. The system tools are all the tools we give the agent so that he can perform his tasks, so he can achieve his goal. So we provided updates, search, etc. And we gave a description to these scenarios. Allow to search specific contact from his email or to get our contacts if no email was provided. This is the case for this one, but the other ones have also a description. It helps the agent understand how we can use this type of tools. And now let me show you what it looks like directly in a scenario. So this scenario will use another bot in Telegram so that we can ask questions as well. And the only difference is that all the logic is done here. I don't need to add any other logic. So for example, here, we can see again the agent that we have configured with the different tools. And we can provide additional information, like use Markdown. We can give other information. We can also specialize this module, adding some other tools if we need. So we can give a thread so that it gets into the memory all the previous actions done with the same user, so it can remember what we did. And we can also provide another webhook so that we send the answer back to the scenario to the user. So you see here, the scenario will be called after to reply back to the user. So you see how simpler it is. And let's see what it looks like and when we are users. So here, if I go to the other agent, so I will do the same. I will say list contacts. So now it's the agent that will do the job. It will know that because we want to search and list contacts, it knows that it has to call the tool search contacts. Okay, so it provided me this information. But from here, I can already see that I can make more advanced questions. For example, show contacts living in China. So you see in the tools, there is no way to filter by country. But still, because the agent is a LLM, it's using an LLM, it knows the different cities and the different countries they belong to. So it knows how to do this extra action based on the data it got. So it called the sub-scenario search contacts. it got the list of all contacts, and then it filtered out all the contacts that are not living in China. So what I can do also, I can say list contacts and provide a CSV file with first name and last name. And you see now it has provided me with a CSV, comma separated with all the data. You see, this was not foreseen in advance, but we provided just the tools to search, and then it did it for us. So I can do also create a new contact called Jendo with email gg@acme.com, living in London, then show me the results. So you see now, really nothing. This is not foreseen at all, in the product. We just provided the tools, but see, now the contact has been created, and it provides me with the answer. Okay. So this is it for the demo. What you can see now is that when we don't use the AI agent, the scenario can become very large because we have to foresee and we have to determine all the possible outcomes based on what the user types, while with the agent, it's small. We have a much bigger flexibility with the input that the user type or that enter in the agent. The maintenance, obviously, because the scenario is much smaller, it's much lower with the AI agent than it is with a classic AI scenario. If we want to do multi-turn chat, like list me, create a contact, then list the result to show me, etc. So this has to be foreseen in advance. So it's harder to build. We do manual routing because it's deterministic. So based on the outcome of AI, we say, okay, we go to this route or this route using filters. And the update will be longer, obviously, because if we need to add new features, we need to edit and modify the scenario, while with the AI agent, it's just a matter of adding a new tool.